let's talk about how to serve clients that have small budgets. And the reason I want to talk about this is because a lot of times people will just blow them off and assume that if you don't have the budget, then it's not going to work out. And I only want to work with high ticket clients. And I say that a lot myself, that it's a great idea to work with high ticket clients. But the interesting thing is there are a few ways to turn low ticket clients into high ticket projects. And I'm going to go through like 4 different ways to go about it with 3 strong examples of ways that you can serve clients even if they don't have a huge budget yet. But the fourth one, and the first one that we're actually going to start with, is a lot of times clients actually have more of a budget than it seems like they have. And the problem is they come to you thinking that they're only trying to solve a small problem, and therefore they have a small budget for the small problem. And this happens all the time. It's like people will come to you with the "I don't want to be stupid" mindset. You know what I mean? It's like they're starting a business, and maybe they've got a business card, and they want to put a link to their website on the business card just so they don't look stupid, right? So if that's the mindset, they're not going to have a big budget for that because it's a small problem. It's like anybody can do it. You could just even have a Wix website, and that would be enough to at least have something online, because they don't want to have to answer the question of, hey, can I go to your website? And then they have to say, oh, well, I don't have a website. And then they look stupid. So what you can do is, instead of just kind of immediately jumping into, okay, well, give me the tech specs for what you want on the site. Like, how many pages do you need? What kind of color palette do you like? Let me see some other sites that are your competitors. Or, instead of just jumping into the questions that most people tend to ask to try to, figure out what the tech specs are going to be for the site, there's a whole list of other types of questions to ask to really show your value. So if this is something that you feel like that you're struggling with, or that you get a bunch of leads that kind of initially present with, oh, I've just got a little, $1,000 budget or something like that, and you want to bump it up into like a $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 project, go over to upstreamquestions.com. I put together a 1-hour video course that will go through all of the questions that you should be asking to really break through and shift the mindset of your client into, hey, we could be solving a much bigger problem here that drives traffic and gets leads and adds revenue to your business. And then you can ask those questions. And I will make a guarantee about these questions. I don't often make guarantees, but I will guarantee this. If you do that course and you don't think that you 10x your investment in the course, it's a $47 one-hour video course. If you don't think listening to this course and answering these questions or asking these questions will add at least $500 to your business, I will refund you the entire price of the course. So check that out, see what you think, and I guarantee it will drive some good results for you. But okay, so aside from that, what can you do to really serve clients who legitimately just don't have access to the funds, right? Because what we were talking about before is, well, a lot of clients, they do have access to the funds, but they just don't want to spend the money because they don't feel like they need to, because they feel like they're solving a small problem, when in reality, you can open their mind and eyes to a much bigger problem. But okay, so what if they really do just have a small budget, and maybe they're just getting started, or for whatever reason, they don't have the money. They couldn't pay it even if they wanted to. So there's 3 things that you can do to serve clients like that. But here's the point. The point about the 3 things is, when you make your offer, and the common thread that's woven between all these things is, don't make an offer that's so small that it won't create an impact for the client, that they won't get some kind of a measurable result. Because if you do that, then you stall out the entire relationship and you'll never get anywhere with it. But if you can create a project that does drive some kind of a measurable result for the client, then what happens is you can use the results that you're driving to walk them up to the next step. So as long as you're able to generate a few leads to generate some revenue, they can then reinvest that revenue with the next step. So what you're doing is you're putting them on your value ladder, even if it's like the bottom rung. But as long as results are coming in, they can go up to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And then you're walking up to what will eventually become a really high-ticket, long-term, awesome client. But the whole key to the whole thing is, the first step needs to generate some kind of a result. So the 3 things that I'm about to share with you are all things that will generate a small result for clients who legitimately have a small budget, but they need to be served. They need help. So you don't have to just cast them aside. The first thing that you can do is build them just a single page website. So rather, like if the client's coming to you and they think, oh, I've got this, this big grand vision for this big website that I want, and you start to talk about it and everything, and it turns out that that's just going to be way outside of what their budget actually is, then just do one page. Just do like a landing page website and scope it down. So don't talk about all the things that they can do in their business on this page. Talk about one thing. So like pick the best thing that they do, or the best product that they have, the most profitable thing, the thing that gets the best results for their customers. Pick that one thing and build a landing page just about that one thing. And on the landing page, put a lead magnet, like put an email opt-in form that gives them some kind of a cool solution to the first step of whatever their problem is, right? So say for example, you're working with a health coach that does diet related work, diet nutrition. Most of my clients tend to all be in like the health and wellness space. So like say you're working with a client that's a dietitian, and one of the best things that she can do is help people that have gluten sensitivity, like celiac disease and stuff like that. There's a big deal going on right now. So put a little lead magnet on there that says, this is my top 10 favorite gluten-free dessert recipes. And then put your email address in there and get that. Because maybe one of the best things that she can offer is like a protein powder that's chocolate and awesome and gluten-free and really healthy and stuff like that. Maybe that's one of the things that she provides. Or maybe it's like consulting on how to live a gluten-free lifestyle or something that's in that space. Just put a little lead magnet out there about that. And then people will put the email address in, and then you can send them the cool thing. And that one thing will be enough to start generating some warm leads for them. And you can even stop the project right there. Like that could be the last thing, that could be the whole thing. A landing page with an email opt-in form that talks about the best thing that they've got going as of right now. Now, they could be doing other things too, but if you have multiple calls to action all on the same page and lots of different products and all that stuff, not only does the page get unwieldy and it's just like, well, instead of building a 5-page website, we just built one page that's 5 times longer. It's like, you don't want that. What you want is to focus on the one thing that your client can do really well. Put an email opt-in that has some kind of a cool kind of content upgrade. You don't give it away for free, but it's just all you need to do is put your email address in, and then you're building a warm list of leads. Then once those leads convert into clients, they've got more revenue now to invest in the next thing. So if that doesn't blow through the whole budget, so you still have a little bit more space because you just built one page with an email opt-in and a lead magnet, the next thing to offer is email marketing. Because if they can't take this step to the email marketing step, then they could at least manually follow up with the leads. Like as people are opting in for the lead magnet, they can just manually email people. But better than that would be automating some of that. So like set up like a drip campaign. So when people put their email address in, then they get the cool thing. And then a couple of days later, you follow up, and then you follow up again. And then you kind of have this nurturing sequence that's automated with, 5 or 10 emails over a month or two of time, right? So it's like a planned sequence that will hopefully eventually get people on the phone or buying the protein powder or whatever the thing is. You're nurturing those leads, turning them into customers. And you can do it for like $10 a month. Like I use MailerLite, and I'm going to put a link below the video. You can check that out. And by the way, if as you're watching this, if any of this is resonating with you and you like some of these ideas, leave a comment below and let me know, and share some other ideas that you might have about some cool things that you've done for clients with small budgets. I mean, it's really helpful to share that stuff. Plus, seeing all the comments below the video and everything makes me happy, and it's fun to get to know you guys and everything. So do that. But the email marketing thing, I use MailerLite, and it's like $10 a month. It's super easy to do what they call an automation, where you just basically say, send this email, and then wait a day or two, and then send this email. And you can even do branching, where like, hey, if they click a link, then go down this path. If they don't click the link, go down the other. And it's totally visual. There's like a little video tutorial if you need to kind of get your head around how it works, but you can probably pick the whole thing up in like 10 minutes. And you can set the thing up for super cheap. So that's a great thing to start doing to offer, in addition to this single page kind of landing page website for clients that have a small budget. So you can automate the lead nurturing process so that those leads turn into clients so that they can take the next step with you. And then the third thing is business directories. This is one of the things that's super overlooked all the time. It's like everybody tends to think, well, maybe I got to run Facebook ads or Google ads, or I got to do SEO and kind of get traffic to the site. But business directories are such an untapped, like unsaturated space right now. Like even if you could do nothing but just set up a free account on Angie, right? So remember Angie's List rebranded to Angie, and it's just a business directory of like professional service providers of all different types, from like health and fitness and accounting and bookkeeping and lawn care and roofing. And like if you've got a client that has anything to do with home services, professional services, or fitness or wellness or something like that, get them into a couple of these business directories. Even if it's just a free account on Angie, that will get them some exposure in their area, and then link it up to their website or to the one-page landing page site that you just built, so that they can actually go from the profile on the business directory to the website, get the email address from all of that, and then now you're again building the warm list of leads. And there's even like niche directories, like directories of local photographers and things like that. So depending on who your client is, find the right directory for them and maybe put them in a couple. You don't have to just do one. You could do several different directories, and you can usually get started for free. Now, like with Angie, there are different levels of service that you can kind of subscribe to as a business, right? So you don't have to start or end with the free one. Like you can start with the free one, but there's like a mid-tier and a high end and different kinds of ways to get more visibility for your business in the directory. And you might want to consider bumping it up a little bit depending on what the budget is. But we're talking about clients that usually have small budgets. So even if you just did the free one and just put them in a couple of different business directories, in addition to having their website and so forth, that would be a really cool step. So those are 3 things that are super easy to do, wouldn't take you very much time. It's like a one-page website, a $10 per month little MailerLite account, and maybe a couple little business directories. And that should be enough to get a few leads. Now, obviously, that's not going to change the world, right? It's not going to give you 1 million leads overnight, but that's not the point. The point is, how can we do something that's big enough to get the ball rolling? And then once the ball starts rolling, and you can reinvest all the proceeds from those things into doing more and more and more. So that's the best way to serve clients who maybe feel like they're just kind of stuck with a small budget. What can you do? The bad thing to do is just build them a big website, blow through all their budget, have nothing left for any kind of other marketing or ads or traffic or lead generation of any type. You just kind of give them a website, and then there the website sits doing nothing. So don't do that, but instead, first, think, is this really a client that absolutely doesn't have the funds? Because if they do have the funds, they just don't have the right mindset. Go over to upstreamquestions.com, get the questions to ask so they can see the value, and that will be the solution for that. And most of the time, that is usually all you need to do. And people will be, oh yeah, well, I didn't realize that. And then you fill in all the gaps with all the different ways you're going to drive leads and drive traffic and maybe add new revenue streams and those types of things. So go over to upstreamquestions.com and grab that course for yourself. But if it's not the case, like if you do in fact come across a client that just doesn't have the budget, do these 3 things: the single page website, the email marketing, and the business directories. Those are 3 super easy, quick things that will in fact give a good result to your client. And then you'll get some clients in for them, they'll have some more revenue, and then they can take the next step with you. So definitely go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these ideas, and if you feel like they're kind of within reach for you and some of the customers that you've been interacting with. And, like the video, share it, let's get some other people, talking about all this stuff, and let's build up a conversation about it. So awesome. Looking forward to seeing you guys again next week.